How to find internal resistance of a given cell. This is the cell whose internal resistance is R that we are going to determine by using the potentiometer. The black part of this diagram is potentiometer, and the green color part is nothing but it is a system or the thing which you are going to connect extra or external circuit to this potentiometer. Let us see which are the terms we are indicating here. E is the EMF of the battery. K1 and K2 are the two plug keys. E1 is the EMF of the cell whose internal resistance we are going to determine. Here R is the resistance box. G is a galvanometer and RH stands for rheostat. AB is the length of the potentiometer wire. One end of the potentiometer is connected to the positive terminal of the driver battery and the other terminal is connected to key. From the other end of the key goes to rheostat. Then other terminal of the potentiometer is connected to rheostat. You have to remember here two things, very important things while connecting potentiometer to any external circuit. The first thing, the positive terminal of the cell whose internal resistance you are going to measure, it should be connected to that end of the potentiometer where the driver cell positive terminal comes and meet. And the second thing, if this is the cell of EMF say 1.5 volt, the driver cell EMF must be much greater than this. So two things you have to remember here while connecting the potentiometer to any external circuit. First of all, the E should be greater than E1. The EMF of the driver battery, the auxiliary battery, EMF of this driver cell must be greater than the EMF of this cell whose internal resistance we are going to find. And second thing, the positive terminal of the cell must be connected to that end of the potentiometer where the positive terminal of the driver or auxiliary cell is connected. Let us begin now with the experiment. If you talk about the external circuit which is connected to this potentiometer, the one end of this is connected to the end point of the point of the potentiometer, and the other end is connected to the galvanometer, and the other end of the from the other end of the galvanometer jockey is connected over here. When K1 is closed, K2 is kept open. Means when K1 is closed, a current I started flowing through this potentiometer wire drawn from this battery. Since K2 is open, now the circuit consists only E, E1 and the potentiometer wire only. There is no inclusion of this part. R, since K2 is open, R is not included in the circuit. So in the first part, K2 is kept open, K1 is closed. So in that the circuit contains E, E1 and the potentiometer wire itself. In this case, the I started flowing through this potentiometer wire, and because of this cell, say I dash is come in action. So total in this potentiometer wire, I plus I dash started flowing. What happens to find out the balancing length? Take a jockey and start from A, go on tapping throughout this wire and traveling towards B, you will get somewhere here the point P where the galvanometer shows null deflection. So balancing length across this AP is taken as L1. So what happened at this point, I is continued flowing through this wire, but I dash became 0. If I dash becomes 0, means no current passing through this galvanometer. If no current is passing through this galvanometer, means no current is returned to this circuit. If no current is returned to this circuit, means no current is drawn from the circuit. Means here the potentiometer behaves as an ideal voltmeter. means it has drawn no current from the external system or external circuit. Only the I which started the traveling through this wire, that only continued its journey. Now what happens if AP is a balancing length? At this case, no current is drawn from the external system, means the whole overall system is behaving as a open system. If the system is open, if the circuit is open, then we have to consider E, not V. Potential difference is not considered over here. Now this length AP corresponds to EMF E1. Means the potential across AP is balanced with the potentiality of this cell. In that case, E1 can be stated as KL1. As you know, the principle of potentiometer states that the potential difference between any point, here A to P you can say, is directly proportional to the length between them. Means here the system is working as an open, so we are not considering V over here, we are considering E over here. So E is equal to proportionality constant K, which is known as potential gradient. So it is K into L1, where K is potential gradient. Proceeding further, now in second case, both K1 and K2 are closed. In that case, what will happen? Now the circuit consists E1 potentiometer wire as well as R also. Some resistance R is selected from the resistance block, and null point is once again obtained with the help of jockey. In that case, what happens? If you go on tapping from A with the help of jockey, somewhere you will get here the balancing length and call it as P dash over here. Now AP dash, you can call it as a length of AP dash as L2. Since K2 is closed, there is a current flows through this loop, that is XYZW. Even though the null point is obtained, there is a flow of current in the external circuit. In that case, there is a flow of current in the external circuit, means there is a potential difference. So in this case, we are not considering E, we are going to consider V. This corresponds to the voltage between the null point and A point. So V is equals to KL2. Call it as 1 and call it as 2. So if you divide 1 by 2, you will get L1 by L2. As K and K get cancelled, so you will get L1 and L2 over here. Consider the loop XYZW now. So I am continuing over here. Consider the loop XYZW. In that, we can write EMF I into R plus R. And also by Ohm's law, V is equals to IR. Therefore, it is related with the E1. So if you divide E1 by V over here, so you will get I by R plus R divided by IR. I get cancelled. Call this equation as a 3 and call this equation as a 4. If you compare 3 and 4, the LHS are same. E1 by V, E1 V. So if LHS are same, RHS should be equated. So the thing is R plus R by R, this I have taken, is nothing but is equals to L1 by L2. If you divide R by R is 1, R by R equals to L1 by L2. Again here R by R, keeping R by R this side, L1 by L2, 1 comes this side, it is a minus 1 over here. Therefore, the internal resistance R can be calculated by using the formula R into L1 by L2 minus 1.